Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is part 2 of the Words of Wisdom / Life Hacks. And as you could see, I have learned from my mistake of what I did in the first one where I had it vertical. And so now I'm recording horizontally, at least doing my best to. But the key in life, of course, is not to not make mistakes. We're humans. We make mistakes. In fact, the most successful people in the world are actually the people who make the most mistakes because they try the most. The only people who don't make mistakes are people who never accomplish anything in their entire lifetime. So the focus shouldn't be on to not make mistakes. It should be to, when you do make mistakes, understand how and why you made a mistake, how to fix a mistake, and never do that mistake again. Smart people learn from their own mistakes. Wise people, on the other hand, learn from the mistakes of others. All right, so there's a whole bunch that I didn't get to the last time. So let's get to those this time. One last financial one, since I didn't quite get to all of those. If you are good with your money is always going to be good with you. However, if you're good with other people's money, then other people will be good with you. So something to think about. In this life, we should always, this time of, I'm videotaping this at the time of COVID, you should always hope for the best, prepare for the worst, but know that neither one is usually going to be the reality. It's always going to be somewhere in the middle. But always hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst. And then there are certain things in this world that are absolutely out of our control. If you live in Indiana, you can't really control much about who wins the senator race in Georgia. I'm just making up a state. And so we shouldn't really spend too much time and effort worrying about those if we have no control over them. If you do have control over them, great, then worry away. But, things that we have absolutely no control over, you should not spend a lot of time worrying about it or fretting about it because it serves no purpose. But along those lines, when things don't go quite the way you'd like them to, always do try to find a way to make it your fault if you can have a way to control the outcome. Because if you find a way to blame yourself, you now put the power of solving the problem on your own shoulders. If you blame somebody or something else, it's on their shoulders to fix the problem. So to use an example, let's say you're late for work. You left the time you normally leave, but stuff happened, traffic happened, a train happened, 2 trains happened. It does sometimes happen in some parts of Indianapolis. You went out training, you got through, yay, and then there's another train on the next track, and you're caught in between the two train lines. So now you're late to work. Your boss he's like, "You're late." Now, there's 2 ways you can react to this. You can blame traffic, you can blame the trains, you can blame the world. But now it's the world's problem to fix, and politicians' problems to fix, and the railway's problem to fix, and they're not going to fix your problem. They've got their own problems, way too many to fix yours. But if you can find a way to blame yourself, go, you know what? I should have left earlier. Or, you know what? I picked a bad route to come to work today. I'm going to take a better route tomorrow. Now you have a chance to solve the problem. Notice you also just turn yourself into someone who finds solutions instead of someone who finds excuses. There's a big difference between the two. So if you can, blame yourself. But if you have absolutely no control over it, then don't fret about it because it serves no purpose. So only worry about things that are going to have a purpose. I do want to say, I don't think I got this in the other video, but I do want to note that absolute darkness is not the absence of light. Absolute darkness is the absence of hope. I also want to note that the problems we ignore today are going to be the catastrophes of tomorrow. I'm saying this in the middle of COVID, and we ignore the problems of today, and they become the pandemics of tomorrow, in every way, shape, and form. And then I got 2 more. One more So this one's going to be pretty short. Manipulation. I know in the media, no matter what media station you watch, there is some amount of manipulation involved. It's at different levels. They aren't all the same necessarily, but there is manipulation. And so the question is, what does it take to avoid being manipulated? And I know fingers are pointed in every direction. The truth is, manipulation is not about education. It's not. Educated people get manipulated sometimes easier because they think they're educated. They think they're immune to manipulation than people who are uneducated. The difference between being manipulated and not being manipulated isn't education. It's the ability to think critically. And hopefully in my astronomy course, for those of you here who are from my astronomy course, which will probably be 95% of you because no random person is going to go to my YouTube channel. Well, a couple might, but hopefully I taught you to think critically so you can avoid being manipulated. I'm going to use an example. This is the biggest place where manipulation happens constantly because people lie and will say anything to get you to sign the dotted line, and that is timeshare salespeople. They rely on manipulation, pure and simple. If you go into a presentation for a timeshare trying to think critically and crunch numbers and think, is this actually a good value? Go back to the value from the last problem. That's a great place to think about value. The first thing they're going to say is, oh, no. You're thinking about this the wrong way. And from their point of view, you are, because if you think critically, you're going to realize that their offer is terrible and will absolutely destroy your financial future. You should avoid it at all costs. And there's just almost no good timeshares. I mean, they're almost all terrible. In fact, I'd say 99.9% of them are terrible. Because the reality is, if you think critically, you're not going to be manipulated by that. They want you to think about it not critically, but emotionally. They want to sell it to you on emotion because you can manipulate emotion. Emotions are very easy to manipulate. And that's the only way they're going to get you to buy it is to sell it to you emotionally, because they can't sell it to you on the numbers. The numbers suck. They do. Am I allowed to use that word on YouTube? Suck? Okay, well, guess I'm not making any money. I wasn't making anything anyways. And so, in fact, one example of emotional manipulation. Oh my God, this is the sleaziest line that I've ever had in my life. I'm sure people have had sleazier lines told to them, but only in bars. Outside of bars is probably the sleaziest line ever. They went, if you don't buy our package, overpriced, then you don't love your family. No, God honest truth, they told me that if I didn't buy their package, I didn't love my family. Straight out. And I was like, what? I didn't know how to react to that. That was like the stupidest thing I'd heard in my entire life. And I've asked questions of people that are, well, let's just say anti-science. And they've had some pretty stupid answers for me. But this took the cake. Luckily for me, my wife did know how to react to that. Her reaction was, bye, we're leaving, which was the appropriate reaction. Because that's the only way they can sell to you. But if you think critically, it won't make you immune to manipulation. You can still be manipulated, but it'll make it a lot harder to manipulate you. So definitely always think critically. And I'm going to end this not on my own words of wisdom, but the words of wisdom of a William Shakespeare, who in the play called Hamlet wrote the following line: "This above all to thy own self be true." Because let's face it, if you don't play the role of you in this life, who will? All right, so that's all for my words of wisdom. If you have any words of wisdom for us, feel free to put them in the comments. Other than that, have a good day, have a good year, hopefully have a successful life, and hopefully my words of wisdom will help with that, because again, one of the first words of wisdom I give, always, measure of a person is based on the impact you have in the lives of others. So hopefully I've had an impact on your life. Thank you.